Hey, Karen. Hey, everybody. Just gonna give everybody a few minutes to jump in. Hope everybody's good. Hey, Tay-Bug. How are you, hon? Awesome. Let's see. No, we don't want that. Post. Hey, how's everybody doing? Good to see everybody. Super happy to be here. So, let me check the time. 7:58. Oh, I'm glad you're good. So, just gonna give a few minutes for people to just jump in. So, I will admit I have been up since 3 a.m. today. Thursdays, I go into the office at 4 a.m. producing morning show. So, bit of a long day today, but it's okay. I'm happy to be here with you so we can give away some of this free game. So, I do have some exciting information I'm going to share with you, but I'll just wait a few minutes and let a few more people jump in. But I'm always thinking ahead. Hey, so good to see people here. Man, y'all are blessing me today, I gotta say. Be ready. Cool. Awesome. So, free game. Why free game? Well, hey, hello, author Avery Washington. Free game. So why free game? Look, I find that a lot of times people just need some insight and advice to try to get to the next level, right? So I come across a lot of people. Could be small business people, definitely a lot of people in the music and entertainment business, definitely a lot of people on the radio side of things, trying to get into radio, TV, the entertainment side, the blogging, vlogging, all that stuff. And one of the biggest things that I find is that nobody's willing to give the game. Now, one could say, sure, you could Google the game, and I recommend that you Google the game as well because, hey, I'm just one person. I think knowledge is power. But I was very fortunate to have some people in my career that gave me the game. And one of those key people, I would say for sure, is my college advisor, Fran Berger, at Emerson College in Boston. I love you too. And so I was a bit of a radio prodigy. So I started when I was 14 years old. Actually, true story. In radio, I got my FCC license when I was 14 years old. So I got my first job offer in radio when I was 15. Well, until they found out I was 15, and then that sort of didn't fly. But I was just really fortunate to have some people along the way that really gave me the game, and they gave me the game unconditionally. They saw something in me, and they believed in me, and the information that they gave to me, hey, Layla, the information that they gave to me helped me get to the next level. And so I find a lot of people I come in contact with, they just need some information and need some help. So I'm here to offer help. I'm hoping to offer help in such a way that it'll help you take the next step. I don't claim to know everything, but what knowledge and experience I do have, I will happily share with you. So what I'd like to do is to encourage you, one, to ask questions, right? So there's a lot of variety of people on here. I can see by, the variety of people that are checking in. I got record industry people here. I've got marketing people here. I've got branding people here. I've got small business people here. I've got artists here. I've got, producers here. Yeah. I have real estate here. What's up, Trey? So, entertainment companies here. So a lot of people on the line. So what I would like to do is to invite you to ask some questions. So while you're formulating your questions, I'll be looking here in the comments and I will do my very best to give you an answer. So whatever questions you have about taking your business, your music business, your business, your marketing business, your whatever business to the next level, go ahead and in the comments, as I see you all are checking in, thank you, leave me some questions there. So one of the things that I just want to throw out there is, obviously we're all in the middle of COVID-19, right? So a lot of us have a lot more time on our hands. So I think there's a good and a bad thing that can come out of the time that we have right now. So as we see what's happening, I know here in Houston, man, things are shutting down. Things are definitely shutting down. And so you're going to have some time on your hands. And one of the things that could come with the epidemic, honestly, is an epidemic of laziness. Okay. Laziness is contagious. That is something that's very contagious. So while we have some time on our hands, I think it would be great for you to, use sort of the time that you'd be out and about, maybe going to the clubs, working your project or whatever you would be doing to market yourself, and, take a step back and think about how you can set yourself up for success in a greater way. And so I just really encourage you to use however long this time is going to be, to take a step back and maybe hit the reset button for yourself on how you can take your whatever to the next level. So we're starting to get some questions. What marketing tips can you give for a music video release? Excellent. Well, I have strong opinions, especially these days when people are putting together a new song or project. So for me, I sort of love to have everything together, right? So when a song is coming out, I think in today's world, because we have these devices, right? So you want to make sure that you're putting yourself and your project everywhere that there's audience. So I love that there's a question about the music business and a music video release. I think to me, it's sort of how you view the entire project, okay? So a lot of times when you're getting ready to release a song, you have the song. So the first things first is making sure your song is available on all the appropriate platforms, right? You want it on iTunes, you want it on SoundCloud. If you have a website, you want it on your website. You want to make sure that your song is readily available for people, okay? Then I also encourage people, we live in a very visual society. So I don't encourage people to wait on a music video. I like to have everything together at the same time, and then it's boom, it's one big drop at the same time. So regarding the music video release, there's two things that you can do here. One is on the music video. Sometimes you've got a great project and you're anxious to get it out and you've got the music ready to rock and roll and you have this big idea for a video and maybe it's going to take a little bit longer to get that together, but you're feeling a particular energy about your music project. So my encouragement there is maybe do that in a two-step process. So maybe put together a lyric video that you can get out there, get people familiar with the lyrics. And those are really cool. There's cool ways to create those. I mean, if you're clever, there's so many programs on the internet where you can make a lyric video. There's apps out there technically, right? That you can go ahead and make a lyric video, get that out there, and then take your time to do your music video. So regarding if you've already got the song out there and you're getting ready to maybe go in the more traditional sense of releasing a music video, here's where I think your fans come in handy. You have to market to your fans. So whoever's already following you on all of your platforms, those are the people that you need to engage about the music video. So is there somebody, a particular guest in the music video? Or is there something special about the music video that you may be able to take that small piece and market that? Another thing is you're approaching music videos, anything you can do to increase fan engagement. So let's say maybe you did put the music out first. Hopefully you've got a lyric video out there on YouTube, Vivo, whatever, right? Perhaps a second wave you could do when you're going to produce a full out music video to engage your fans and also get momentum going for the release of that actual video is run a contest or incentive on your platforms for your fans to be a part of the music video. So could it be that somebody gets a guest spot in your music video? Could it be somebody gets to behind the scenes attend the music video? I find whenever you can engage the fans, they become your best promotional tool when it comes to marketing. One, it's relatively free, right? Especially if you're a local or regional artist. Most fans who are willing to travel to your city, and they will get into your city, and shoot, maybe you can put them up in a hotel, give them a gas card or whatever. I mean, fans are just happy to be there, right? So take care of their expenses, but make them a part of the process. They are going to be your absolute best form of promotion for your music video project. So to me, I say do it free, do it smart, and engage the fans. I'm just scrolling back, y'all, because I see I'm missing some questions here. So that's T's 2 cents. All right, Relentless Entertainment, hello. What are you currently looking for from independent artists and moving to the next step in radio? R&B artists. That's a great question. So look, back in the Gap, radio was like the first place everybody would go because there were no other options. Okay. You had radio. I'm talking way back in the golden ages of everything, right? I'm talking about the time where all you had was radio, and you even had like shows on the radio. Okay. So think about the inception of radio and what the purpose was. Well, as time has gone along, we have these now, right? Devices. We have phones, we have laptops, we have ways to connect with people. So now I find that while radio, sure, sometimes definitely takes the forefront in finding a song and making it huge, a lot of times these days it's more of a reflection of what's going on in the marketplace, what's going on with the movement. So for an independent artist trying to get to radio, I say build your movement independently of radio first, okay? This is really putting your song out there, creating engagement with your fans, making sure your song is on all platforms, making sure there's some sort of visual out there in the stratosphere. Please don't ignore TikTok, not even my R&B artists. I find that R&B artists are thinking TikTok is not for them. Don't believe the lie. It's for you. Get involved in the platform, but making sure that your song is on all platforms and seeing what kind of movement you can create there. So what happens is radio and record companies, and I've got a few of my record friends on here, record companies are combing the internet, actually looking for the next artist to sign in a distribution situation a lot of times to go ahead and push that song to radio. So for R&B, first and foremost, I'm trying to see, do you have your stuff together, right? Is all the business around your song handled? You're publishing, everything is copywritten, you have a video, you've got the song in all of the places that it needs to be. And then what kind of movement do you have? What kind of support and engagement do you have with fans? We actually look at that. So if you have a video, we're looking at how many views you have. If you're on iTunes, I'm seeing how many downloads you have. That's all information we have access to. Every market has information or access to information as it pertains to across the block, everybody, and also across the country, and also what's happening in the marketplace. So once in a while, sure, somebody just thinks your record is the next best thing to whatever, and that's a rare occasion. It does happen, and they will step way out. Now, let me say this to you. I have made this mistake. I have heard a record I thought was amazing from an independent local artist, and I have jumped on the record. I've put it on the radio, and I believed wholeheartedly in the project, and it was a hit record in all of the aesthetic sense of things. But because the artist was not properly prepared, that was airplay that went wasted. Okay? It just got wasted. That was one of the most powerful lessons that I've learned in my career. When the artist doesn't have the artist situation together, everything's not lined up with the artist, and the infrastructure and the mechanism is not prepared to handle the airplay and what comes with that at a powerful radio station, that song can implode. And a really terrible thing that happens to artists is you may have a freaking amazing record, and your radio station, if you're in Houston or wherever you are, right, your local radio station may jump on that project. But if you don't have your shit together and you're not prepared to take that to the next level and to take what comes with it, and your record ends up going nowhere, you blew your shot. Because the rest of the world is going to see that record as that's an old record. It becomes an old record at some point. And that amazing record that you did have, it just may not end up going anywhere. Not because it's not a good song. It's just that you weren't together. You weren't prepared when the opportunity presented itself. So over time, I've learned to take a bit more of a cautious approach, meaning that I check all my boxes first, making sure that I think that the artist is prepared for what comes with the airplay at a radio station. So number one, Relentless, hey man, you got to have your stuff together legally, have the record set up properly from a legal aspect, making sure that record is in all the proper places, and have that infrastructure together. Otherwise, I hate that. That hurts my heart and soul. All right, let's see. Sean B. Looking to get some game on a magazine that's established in New York, LA, and Florida. Bring that brand to Houston. They have print and online. I'm looking for a direction on building. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to say something crazy. Do people read magazines anymore? Sure, the doctor's office. So I think, you said the key word here to me is online. What's your online presence, right? And in terms of bringing the brand to Houston, it's really grassroots. You got to get out here, shake hands and kiss babies, and then get your brand associated with larger brands in the marketplace. So I think it's just really connecting with people. And there's a lot of people in Houston, I'm assuming you'd be willing to feature in your magazine, even if it's on the online aspect, right? So, finding out who the key players in the market are. Everybody wants free publicity, especially the notables, providing you're carrying yourself like a professional, and clearly you are because you're established in New York and LA and Florida, and start featuring some of the local culture in your magazine, and then word's going to spread. Now, if a person has a good experience with you in your magazine, before you wrap up that interview, before you wrap up that feature, ask that person if they could recommend someone else for you to talk to. Word of mouth is gold. It is gold. You don't go to a restaurant, a hotel, a vacation spot, or nothing without somebody telling you it's worth the trip. Same thing comes to business, even a magazine business. So as you're trying to establish your brand here, your reputation, the people that are representing your company, how they handle themselves in the marketplace could be key. And then when you're having a good interaction with key tastemakers and influencers in the marketplace, they will recommend you to someone else. They will suggest people that you can talk to, and oftentimes they're willing to facilitate an e-introduction, for example. And that's the best way to get connected. Just do really great business. Be here for the right reasons to really help people and make a positive impact. And then connect with tastemakers in the market. Make sure that experience is positive. Ask them for referrals. So I'm scrolling people. Okay. All right. Rodney Holiday. Rodney says, "Hey, Terry, I've been in radio for over 5 years. Congratulations." For real, for real. Sometimes I feel like radio is like the NFL, right? Short time here. So it says, still part-time. I feel I am. Is there a typo on your question? I feel I am due to my low following on IG. Okay, I think I understand what you're saying. You're saying that you're not getting full time and you think it's because your following is too low on IG. Okay. For anybody who's in radio, let me drop some radio game for you. Program directors, and I'm just going to say I'm assuming you're trying to be, well, shoot, it doesn't even matter this day and age. If you're, targeting a station that's 1834 demographic, targeting a station that's 2554 demographic. Here's what radio program directors are looking for. They're looking for people that can help you or help me grow my brand. Okay, so I run the brand. So example, I run Magic 102.1. I'm the program director, operations manager. If I'm going to hire somebody, that person, I'm looking for assets and liabilities. I'm looking for assets and liabilities on the team I currently have. That's a true statement. So how can you bring value to the team? So, Rodney, I would say to you, your ability to demonstrate that you can grow your brand and therefore help grow the brand of the station, remember they're in partnership, can help you get to that next level. I would say, look what's happening at your radio station. What needs are not being met? How can you up your skill sets to be the person that can meet and exceed those needs? I think a lot of times in radio, especially for somebody who might be at a station for a while, and I'm not saying this is you, I'm just throwing it out there as an example. A lot of times people are sitting back and they're thinking, oh, I've been here for a while, so somebody, the PD should automatically come to me and give me an opportunity. It doesn't work like that, okay? What are you doing to provide value to the team? What are the needs that the program director has to help grow the brand? And have you acquired those skills? Are you bringing them to the job? And are you showing that you can help grow the brand? That's the beginning, the middle, and the end. Okay? How can you get me ratings for the purpose of getting revenue so we can all get a check on the 10th and the 25th? That's putting it down to the super basics, but remember, radio is a business. So your job is to help grow the brand. So I would say take a look at what you've been bringing to the table, what the needs are, and how you can match your skill set to fill a hole that's not currently being filled. And then you become Robin to the Batman that's the program director, or Batwoman as the case may be, as the PD. And when that opportunity opens up, or sometimes an opportunity will be created because you're providing so much value. So I would say take a look at that. Assess your skill sets, Rodney, okay? And maybe there's some things you could sharpen up on, bring that to the table and help the brand grow, in which case, if your PD doesn't elevate you at your station, if you do an effective job of that, people are going to watch because your brand will grow, right? The word of mouth regarding you and what you bring to the table is going to expand. And if it's not the opportunity where you are, there will be an opportunity for you somewhere. All right, let's see. Vibe to Nova. Hello. The song is out on all platforms, but the music video is releasing tonight. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Engage with your fans. Do a contest also on this music video. Do a contest for your fans where they repost your music video and give them an incentive. I don't know if you got swag, merch, whatever. Hook a few people up with some swag bags to go hard and promote your video. Do that too. All right. Avery Washington. Okay, let's see. I'm a family advocate and best-selling author. Congratulations. I love that. Uplifting our families and communities. I've had some success and blessing lives. What's the key for getting national exposure for my messaging? Oh, that's going to be growing your personal brand. That for you is hardcore, growing your personal brand in the social space. People are getting those opportunities because their brand is big, okay? So building up yourself as the expert in that area. I love the fact that you've got the books. That's awesome. So how are you engaging people on your social platforms to further position yourself as the expert? Number one. Number two, Avery, I think you have a unique possibility here. It just depends on what your circle of connection is. So if you're here in Houston, for example, can you put together, I hate to say a seminar, such a snooze word, right? Seminar. Can you put together a program, take it around? Maybe you go to the schools, maybe you go to the colleges, maybe you go to some nonprofit agencies. But I would say, hey man, maybe you could put together some sort of program that you can take out there. And that would be sort of an interim. Next level, you've got the 6 books, super dope. Continue to be an asset and create content on your platforms that directly speak to your area of expertise. But then try to link in and maybe put yourself on tour, even if it's just smaller tours, right? It doesn't matter the number of people, it matters the quality of what you're bringing. And let's say 10 people versus 100 people. If 10 people are there and they engage with you and it's amazing and they have an amazing experience, and before you leave those 10 people, you make the ask of spread the word about how dope this was, they're going to get on their social media and spread the word on how dope you are, and that's going to go to other people. So those are just a couple of just off-the-cuff tricks. And I hate to say tricks because it's not a trick, but real life strategies that you can incorporate. And so that will help you build your brand, because the whole national exposure game is going to be this. Either somebody knows you, right? I met you at a place, I connected with you, you're dope, I want to use you. Or you've grown your platform and people that are working for those national platforms are following you and engaging with you there. And so next thing you know, and this has happened to me, and I'm not really big, man. I don't have a huge following on my social yet, as we speak positive things into existence. But I've had that happen to me, where I've had somebody who was in a position of power and influence who happened to dig what I was putting out on social media, and I was doing it on a consistent basis, and they felt it was authentic, and they probably, dropped a few comments. I responded to them. I didn't know who they were, what they did necessarily, but they found the advice valuable. And then, boop, I get a DM, and they're like, "Hey, Miss Thomas, I follow you on IG. I would like for you to come blah blah blah." Or they just hit me in the DM, and "I'd like for you to come blah blah blah." I don't know why they picked me. One of the best examples I have about this for myself was earlier this year, where I was asked to MC the Hispanic Media Awards, and I was super, super, super honored. And I co-hosted with Jojo Allaire, who I love, who's here in Houston, as well. And so I get there, and I did it, and I was very careful in making sure I was pronouncing my Spanish words right, and Jojo was amazing, and he was super helpful, and it was awesome. And so at the end of the evening, before I left, the young lady that invited me, I pulled her to the side, and I said, "Hey, this has been really special. What made you think of me?" And she simply said this: "I follow you on Instagram. I think blah, 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 blah. And so when I was putting together this event, I wanted you to come and participate. And it was really that simple. So don't take what you have access to for granted. Word of mouth is word of mouth. So maybe try some of those strategies. Okay, let's see. Hi, DJ Raw. What's up, DJ Raw? What are those boxes? These boxes? This is actually a feature wall in my office. It's a stone wall that's behind my sofa. So, sound quality is quality. Yes. Okay, Karen, a great reminder. So, my very good friend from Interscope Records, she's on here. Special K Shy is her tag. And she is reminding artists quality is quality. If your record sounds like crap, nobody's going to play it. So make sure that your production, your mixing and mastering has quality to it, okay? Because people, it's like nails on a chalkboard. When you hear something, like let's say you're listening to the radio and you hear static, right? It's super annoying. What do? You change the channel. Boop, change the channel. It's fading in and out. You change the channel. There's a natural thing in us where we don't want to hear something that's not pleasing to the ear. So Karen is making an excellent point about your mixing and your mastering and making sure that the sound quality of your project is up to par. Thank you, Karen. Good reminder. Okay, 1BZ Harris. What if the artist has everything together? Would you jump behind a record if you generally... I have countless examples of that. Countless. I'm not going to sit here and toot my own horn, but yeah, I've done that, and Karen and some of my other friends on here can weigh in and say, yeah, I've done that. I have done it. Many times I've done it. So let me say this, though, just as a level of understanding. There's a finite number of songs on any radio playlist, not just my stations, any stations. Playlist is a mathematical formula. That, my friends, is Radio 101, okay? So let me give you an example. Let's say there's 30 spots on a radio playlist, and I might even be generous there, okay? But let me say there's 30 for happenstance. If I'm going to put your song in over the new Drake, the new Chris Brown, the new Rihanna, the new whatever is out there in the stratosphere, I'm really taking a shot on you. So you really need to have your stuff together. Do I do it? Sure. I'm doing it now. I'm playing Anaya. She's got a great song. It's going to pop. I know it. It's already showing what it needs to show there. It's going to happen. But that spot went to her, could have went to something else that would have been more of an automatic, an established artist, a song that people would just jump on because the artist is established. So, just understand that if you're competing for the same spot everybody's competing for, you can get the spot, but your stuff has got to be really together. All right, let's see. When does an artist need PR? I have a music video and project ready to be rolled out. Not sure if I should invest in PR yet. My guess is that not yet. Your best PR is your fan base. And I will say this 50 times. I might get a shirt with that on it. Your best PR, your best mouthpiece are the people that already follow you. They've already pressed the like, the follow button. They're already supporting you. I don't think you need PR yet until you've exhausted absolutely every free option that you have. Because PR is not cheap. Good PR is not cheap. Everything that is inexpensive is not good. Okay? So you want to, when you make an investment, want to be able to have quality. But I think a lot of people try to invest money before they've exhausted elbow grease, before they've exhausted their own hustle. So an artist to me doesn't need PR until you have something major to promote, until you're really bringing in some money and you can really afford PR without worrying, do you have to make a choice this month, car note or PR? Okay. So really, really tap into your fan base. There is so much that you can do with fans. There's also a lot that you can do, not just with fans, but also with your friends in the business, okay? Let's say you worked with somebody particular. Can you barter for services? I'm promoting you on mine, you promote you on yours, right? That's an awesome way to work together to get to the next level. So tap into that. All right, more questions. How did I get on the radio to be a radio host? The old-fashioned way. Um, I'm a bit of a radio prodigy. I got on at 14 years old. There was a radio station in my hometown. I got my FCC license, and long and the short of it, I was able to get a shift after school. And I got a job offer at 15. Couldn't take the job. I was too young. But that's when the light went off. So I went to college, and I have a degree in mass comm, minor in speech. I did college radio for 4 years. My first job, full time, paid 11,800 a year. That's salary. And yeah, I worked my way up from the bottom. So, of course, people want to call you when you're online. um, so that's how I got to be on the radio. Let's see. Hey, everybody checking in. Oops. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much for the your kindness. I see a lot of kind compliments here. Thank you. I'm just looking through for questions. No boxes that you check off. Let's see. Good radio voice. Let me tell you something. That's outdated. Although, hey, if you got a great voice, I love it. But I would tell you having a good radio voice is not... okay. Having a good radio voice is not a prerequisite for doing radio. It's having an authentic personality. Okay? There's lots of people that can talk like this. And, it's 97.9 The Box. And have a voice. Sure, they can put on the Ritz. It's not about just having a good voice. It's actually having a personality and what you do with the voice, right? So I would say for voiceovers, that's an interesting thing that you brought up. Voiceovers can be a lot of different things. I think the biggest thing that somebody needs to have when they're getting in the voiceover game is versatility with their voice, all right? Somebody who can be... It's almost like you're an actor. I hate voiceover artist. I don't like that term even. I prefer voice actor. I'm going to tell you why I prefer voice actor. Because the best voice people know how to manipulate their instrument and do a lot of different things with it. So the best voice people can voice so many different things because they know how to morph this. So like I tell anybody, and I'm sorry, y'all, I'm having to be distracted for one moment because the boss is texting me a question and I need to answer them. So if you'll bear with me for 2 seconds. B, C, and Bill, Travis. Okay. You know how it is when you're doing something and then people call, but I love my boss, so let me make sure they get what they need. All right, so your voice is your instrument. So if you want to do voiceovers, I recommend acting classes. Not because you get to physically just learn how to do a thing, but you also get to learn how to use this. So for someone that wants to do voiceovers, the more that you can work this out and the different things that you can do with this, the better opportunity that you have will be on a multitude of different things. Because if you have this same voice, and your voice can't be altered or changed or fit whatever different product that there is, you're going to have a really, really small lane for your voiceover stuff. So remember, don't be a voiceover artist. Let's be a voice actor or actress. Hey, Tony Neal. All right, let's see. What common mistakes do you see artists make when doing groundwork? I see artists not being smart with their money and artists not being smart with their paperwork. They don't handle the business before they put out the music. Oh, so I do have an announcement to make. Next Thursday, we're going to go live again. And I'm going to have a good friend of mine who is going to drop some free game and break down publishing and licensing 101 for songwriters, producers, and artists. Okay, because there's way too many of y'all getting screwed out there because your paperwork isn't handled. So you're either not getting your checks, or somebody is taking your stuff because you've put music, lyrics, beats out into the stratosphere and you haven't protected yourself. So Tammy Luttrell, who is the CEO of the Mezzo Agency, she's going to jump on with me live next week. And specifically next week's session, we'll speak to publishing and licensing, things for songwriters and artists and producers. So everyone is welcome to join because, hey, the more you know, the more you grow. But if it's not for you and it's for someone else, please go ahead and give them a heads up. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just making sure the boss got the message. Who is more at risk? Dag. More at risk. That's going to be BC. Okay. All right. Scrolling through back to the questions. Hold on one second, y'all. Brian. Okay. Would I like your actually no, I'm working on a podcast, but thank you. I appreciate that offer. That's awfully kind. What are the different ways that artists can build a fan base on their own? Put out projects. When people like it, say thank you. When people comment, say thank you. We went over some things last week about making sure that you're following your name as a hashtag on Instagram, following the name of your song as a hashtag on Instagram. I think for artists, it's about finding the people who like your stuff. Okay? Everybody's not going to like you. They're just not. You're not making music for the people that don't like you. You don't care. You're making for the music. You're making art, photography, books, whatever your art form is, your area of expression, you're making it for the people that love you. You're making it for the people that are into it. Everybody's not going to be into it. Stop worrying about the people that don't matter. If you got 10 people that are rocking with you, show those people some love and respect, make them feel important, and they're going to tell 10 people how much they rock with your art. And maybe 5 of those 10 people become fans. And then you love on those 5 new people. And then they'll tell 10 other people and 5 of those people become fans. And that's really how it goes. Building a fan base is almost like running for office, political office. You're shaking hands, you're kissing babies, and you're winning people over one person at a time. And if your art speaks to somebody, and especially if you can make them feel valued for putting their hard-earned money or their time in paying attention to your art, they're going to tell people about that experience. And that's going to make them champion your cause. I could like you, but being a fan is different, right? Being somebody who's committed, that person rocks with you when the project isn't so hot. That person rocks with you forever. There's fair weather fans. They're all over the place. We can look at our own Houston Texans for that, right? When the Texans are doing well, everybody's on board. When they suck, nobody's on board except for those diehard fans. The diehards are the ones that you care about. The diehards are the ones that you love on. The diehards are the ones that you take care of because they are going to take care of you. They put fuel in the engine of your career. So when you're out here in the social space and people are liking or commenting, comment back, go to their page, like it. You don't have to follow everybody, but engage for sure. Run some incentives on your page. Go live like I'm doing, right? And maybe click somebody in, click a fan in and have a convo with them. Make your fans feel important. They will rep you. And then you'll be able to make asks of your fan base and they will jump to it. Trust me on this. I've seen it happen a multitude of times. How do you get your artist a radio interview? Your artist got to be popping. Radio is high-end real estate. So your artist has got to be popping. So that's going to probably involve the sidebar conversation. All right. Let's see. Hey, I'm going to say hi to Penny Nicole. Penny is on here. She is with our Radio Now team, our Top 40 station. I just love Penny. Let's see. Love the show, Terry. Thug Dirt. Hey, Thug Dirt. Royalties are made. Okay, I'm going to answer this question, Thug Dirt, but I'm going to answer it next week because I've got an expert coming in, and I would like for her to answer it. Tammy Luttrell, who's the CEO of the Mezzo Agency, is going to be on next Thursday. So I hate to put it off, but I want to give you the best answer, and she's going to give it. So I'm going to give you an expert answer. I could give you an answer, but she's going to give you a precise answer. So we'll answer that next Thursday. All right. Mookie, what are good tips to get on the Houston radio as a DJ host? But I don't have a degree, but I've been doing DJ for some years now and internet radio for some time now. There are no jobs. I hate to say that. The business that I've been in since I was 14 is downsizing. Okay. We just had one company lay off 2,500 plus people. It's tight. We're on a hiring freeze. We have also experienced layoffs in my company as well. There just aren't any jobs right now in radio. I would say this to you. Focus on building your personal brand. You've got radio and television right here in your hand because you have access to social media. And I'm not downplaying the fact that I get it. Everybody wants to be on the radio, or everybody wants to be on TV. Everybody wants to be signed to the major label. Well, for some anyway. I get it. I get the desire, but there's no opportunity right now. So when there's no opportunity, create your own opportunity. Create your own, period. Because let me say this to you. When you work for another company, you don't own anything. It is that company. And trust, and when I tell you, you serve at the pleasure of the president, whoever the boss is, whoever the owner is, whatever the game plan is, you serve them. That's the job. Whatever their needs, desires, wants, vision, that's what you do. It's not about you. So maybe, just maybe in this time where there's no opportunity, maybe there's a reason. They say rejection is redirection. Maybe in this time, because there is no opportunity in the traditional sense, maybe it's time for you to create your own opportunity and build your own platform. I would strongly encourage you to do that. Build your own. There's so much opportunity out here. It's so much. It's just so much. It's a non-traditional thing to do for sure, but don't allow a lack of opportunity somewhere to stop you from pursuing your dreams. All right, scrolling here for questions. I was excited to release my single, but not excited enough not to have my copywriting, distribution, royalties, and for plays in order. Absolutely lavish, smart. Don't release your single until you got your business in order. Remember, I said this last week, the two most important people you can have on your team is your accountant and your lawyer. Make sure your paperwork is together. Do not release any music, any beats, any nothing if you don't have your legal self protected. I get so dismayed when I see people getting ripped off and there's nothing you can do. Well, there isn't nothing you can do. It's expensive to do it. But why go down that road when you can protect yourself? What are your thoughts on ads to grow a fan base? I think that ads, there's a time and place for ads. If you've done everything that you can do independently to grow your fan base to its maximum, and I find that most people haven't, run ads. I mean, if you feel like throwing a few ads out there and maybe introducing yourself to an audience you're not currently getting, okay, I'd give it a try. I would just monitor your return on investment. If you're going to buy some social media ads, what are you getting from it? Do some trial balloons out there. Don't dump a whole lot of money into it because you really want to build authentic connection. And that is best built the old-fashioned way. It's person by person, fan by fan, individual conversion. When you're running ads, you can expose your brand to the masses. If you do, just make sure that you're connecting with them in a meaningful way so that you can convert those masses to actual fans that'll stick with you. So I would say, Deflux, sure, you got a creative idea for an ad. I won't tell you don't do it. I would just say don't throw a lot of money into it, and then make sure you're being mindful to watch your conversion so you can convert those, people that are viewing you into long-term fans. All right, Zion's View. What are some good tips for an R&B artist to get more engagement on posts, especially with TikTok being the new wave? Oh, yeah. I think R&B needs to be on TikTok. Please don't get lost in the sauce thinking it's just for a hot little dance. It's not. Okay? So there's a cool thing that's happening now. It's so funny because I think when you speak an idea into the atmosphere, I think it becomes out there and it can come to fruition. So one of the ideas that I talked about last week in a separate, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago in a separate session when this corona was all, getting ready to pop off, was as an artist, you know, how can you make good use of the time? And one of the things that I suggested was doing some social media concerts. And we see that that really has popped off now. A few artists now have done social media concerts. So R&B artists getting more engagement on your post, give people some behind the scenes looks. One, do some lives. I don't know if you have a guitar, piano, however you kind of rock with your music, you know, get on there, write a song live on your social media. Get the fans to help you with the lyrics. All right, people, and just do it for fun. All right, tonight I got a beat. I'm playing my guitar and rocking with my piano. I got the opening lyric. I got this idea. Help me write the song. And then you're humming with the melody, and you do a line, and you look, you scroll, somebody gives you the next line. I mean, just for fun. Increase the cool things that you do with your fans, and you'll increase your engagement on the posts. With TikTok, you know, provided your music is protected, you doing you doing your clips, you singing acapellas, you doing you. And just because it's R&B don't mean you can't dance too if you feel inspired. Knock yourself out. All right, let's see. Rejection is redirection. Yes, it is. All right, let's see. P4 Pharaoh. I'm launching my food truck. Awesome. What is something I should be doing currently? I plan to open this summer. Oh, got a great answer for you. All right, food truck. You should be documenting your process. So make sure that all of your social media is set up under the name of your business now, and start posting on the platforms now, giving people an inside peek at the process as you're developing recipes, as you're putting together the food truck. Maybe you're putting it together yourself, or you've got somebody that's putting it together. You're coming up with logos. Document your process and put that out on your social media. And don't be afraid to share with people some of the tougher end of things, right? Meaning that maybe something goes to the left. It's okay to be honest with people. Sometimes we only want to put out the pretty things into the universe, right? Oh, it's so pretty. It's so perfect. It's so nice. It's okay to put out your struggles. I find that the struggles connect with people, sometimes more so than the happy, joy stuff, right? And people can relate to struggle. Think in movies, right? If you watched a movie and it was all happy, joy the whole way through, and there was no struggle, nothing to overcome, nothing like that, you'd sort of lose interest in the movie, right? Think about your life. Your life is not without struggle. It is okay to share some of that. So P4 Pharaoh, document your process. Share with people what you've got going on. Whet their appetite for your food truck. So by the time you launch, you already have a group of people, a collective, they want to taste your food. They want to check out your food truck. You can absolutely build your following now. So that would be my advice to you. All right, let's see. What about getting into counseling on IG? Are you credentialed? This is for LICI Lollipop. Are you credentialed? Okay, credentialed. I'm a stickler for credentials, especially when you're talking about counseling, because that's people's mental well-being. So, one, be credentialed. Okay, if you are credentialed, be careful, but you can do it. You could be general with your advice. If a situation is like this, and here's the advice on how to handle, absolutely. Just be mindful to be general. And if you're going to be giving specific advice to people, that needs to be offline and a one-on-one, and you do what you do as a business person, right? But yeah, you could totally get into it. Just be credentialed though. You just don't want to be that person who's not credentialed, and you just, counseling, mental health is such a delicate place right now. But I love it. I love your desire to help. I mean, there's a lot of apps out there that you could also link up with, once you're credentialed, where you can join in where people are looking for counseling and be a part of some of those platforms, as well as developing your own. But, if you're credentialed and you feel like, hey, Wiz, if you feel like you've got, your credentials together, then, just start putting scenarios out there and give your take on it. Okay. And if the advice is good and it resonates with people, invite them to weigh in and comment, and appreciate that. So that's what I would do. Okay. If the artist wanted you to be their manager. No, I can't manage anyone. Hey, y'all, I got a 9-to-5. I run, 4 radio stations, but I appreciate that. That's awfully kind. Let's see here. Mr. Moore. Hey, Mr. Moore. Oh, yeah, Tammy's going to be the bomb next week. Tammy, again, don't forget, next Thursday, I've got Tammy Luttrell, CEO of Mezzo, the Mezzo Agency. We're going to talk publishing, licensing, things for songwriters, producers, all that. We're going to make sure that you don't mess up your bag, okay? Avery Washington, I have a new podcast, Avery Speaks, on 12 platforms. Good for you. That is the best way to get the word out, is social media. Market your podcast to your fans. And then also in your podcast, people oftentimes forget to make an ask. So when you're recording your podcast, always make an ask. Hey, if you've liked what you've heard, send me a comment. If you've liked what you heard, share this with someone. A lot of times people aren't thinking about it until you make the ask. It's like upselling when you go to the drive-thru, right? So you're making your order at the drive-thru and they're like, oh, would you like, to supersize that? And you hadn't thought about supersizing it. And then you're like, oh yeah, sure, why not? Or you go to the restaurant and you're sort of full and they bring out the dessert tray. They do that because it's suggestive selling. So understand psychology still works here. When you're doing your podcast, make an ask. Ask them to share it if they like it or send you a comment. And absolutely, social media is the best way. But don't forget to make the ask. All right. Oh, good. License for 20 years. Jump in there then. Jump in there. Lollipop, go ahead and get your counseling thing popping. Okay. Would you recommend an artist send their music to the labels or let them come to you? I recommend that the artist does not send their music to the label. I recommend the artist makes the artist hot and makes the song hot because the record labels have people that comb the internet looking for the hot songs. They're on TikTok looking for the hot song. They're in the markets looking for the hot song. I've got some of my record label friends that are going to be guests, so we'll be able to get into that more deeply. Everyone from a street level to more, in the super high office level at record labels, but we can break that down. But yeah, don't send your record music to the record label. They're just going to put that in file 13. That's the trash can. Don't do that. Focus your time, energy, and effort on connecting with your fans, making your thing hot. Okay? Let's see. Questions. All right. Just making sure I'm catching all the questions here. If you got questions, pop on there. Okay, I've done that. It's just scrolling, y'all. Scrolling. Making sure. All right. Any more questions? Any more questions? Whatever your business is or whatever your interest is, now's the time, think of how you can monetize. We're about to have a little bit more free time on our hands, okay? And I think there's always an opportunity in the obstacle. So for a lot of us, a lot of people, we're working their 9 to 5, because we're trying to make money, feed our families, do the right thing, right? So that's what we do. But if there's something in your heart and soul that you really have been putting off, you want to do, maybe now's the time to give that some thought as to how you can kick that off. Oops. Let's see. Can I ship you copies of my book, Letters to My Daughters? Well, sure. If you'd like to send one to the radio station, I'll DM you the address. Or you know what? Don't ship me a copy. You supported me today. I will buy a copy. Are you on Amazon? Because I will Kindle that thing and buy a copy. So, Avery, you don't need to ship a copy. I thank you for weighing in today. And then that's a reminder too, right? So I've got several friends that are small business owners. I've got a very good friend in Atlanta. She has Happy Mango, is a eco-friendly mom and baby store, and she had to close up shop. Now her business is still open because she has an online business, but a lot of our local small business owners, really could use some help. So one of the things that I've said, this is total side note, but hey man, as long as with the grace of God, I'm still getting a check on the 10th and the 25th. The people that count on me for my business are going to continue to get my business, like my trainer. I love my trainer, Jose. He is one of the best people I've been able to connect with, and he's just been a godsend. And so I'm like, gym or no gym, we'll figure it out. If I'm doing workout via FaceTime, long as I'm getting a check, you're going to get a check. So, during this time, let's just remember the people that also count on us. And if we're in a position to continue to be an asset and a resource for them so they can stay afloat, that would be awesome. And then I don't know how many of you are on Nextdoor, the app. It's like a neighborhood app, but just making sure you're taking care of neighbors, right? So there's elderly people in our neighborhoods. They may need some simple stuff like, hey, I'm running low on this. Can somebody run to the store, or can you walk my dog, or whatever? So, just on the human side of things. How do I start? I'm new to all of this IG. Okay. All right, Ms. Lollipop, how do I start? I'm new to all this IG. Okay, starting from zero on building your brand. I would say this. If you're a counselor, you probably want to consider what your Instagram name is going to be or your social media name is going to be, because you want to have something, either use your name or like a version of your name that's an alias. Hey, Afro Yoga. Or like the counselor lady, or something that maybe speaks to what it is that you do. And then make sure that brand is consistent upon all platforms. So there's Instagram, there's Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, optional, not optional for you. Okay. So make sure that your social media, make sure you own all of your social media. Make sure it's the same name across all platforms. Start with that, brand consistency. I also recommend, for those of us that are on here, every time a new platform launches, make sure that you get your name in that platform. May or may not be hot, but at least you'll have it. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is not owning their brand. If I had a kid today, kid comes out, I name the kid, I would buy mychildsname.com and I would set up all of their social media, and it would be their name at Gmail. And I would buy it, I would sit on it, and I would set it aside. Okay? The most important thing you can own in this life is your identity. And there are people out there that are looking for you to get a little bit famous and will take your identity. And then they will try to sell it back to you for a high price fee. So make sure that you get all of your social media in your name. Okay. And then getting started, you just got to jump in the deep end of the pool, right? You start creating content, posting it to the platform, and seeing it where it resonates. And I'm going to say this, it's going to be hella uncomfortable. You're going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel awkward. You're going to feel like I'm not doing this right. It's okay to not feel like you're perfect. I am not perfect. I am not perfect at all in this. I've just reckoned with myself, the limitations of it, saying that, do I feel like the information I'm trying to get out is bigger than my ego of whether I look a particular way or this lighting is a particular way? So you just have to jump into the deep end of the pool, create content, put it out there consistently, and then engage with people. The other thing too is, a lot of times we want everybody to come to us. But in order to grow, there needs to be balance, and we need to go to them. So in the case of the counseling, right? Who are some other people out there that do something similar to what you want to do? Finding where they're posting and weighing in on some of their topics and conversations with good advice could potentially lead people back to you to follow you on your social platforms, because they will become curious about who you are based on the type of advice that you're giving out. So a lot of times in life, we're selfish, right? Come to me, see me, give to me. But don't be afraid to go to and put yourself in places where like-minded people are out there, or there's people that are needing help commenting on somebody else's thing. And if it's somebody like that's got like 5 gazillion million followers, they're not commenting to people that may be asking good questions in their comments. There's an opportunity for you to get on there and to engage with the people that aren't getting an answer. And then those people, if the advice is good and it resonates with them, they'll be like, well, who is this person? Let me go and see what they're all about. So, there's an opportunity for you there, as well, in a lot of different businesses. whatever your particular passion point is, putting yourself in a situation to get involved in the conversations that are going on around you. If what you have to say is good, they're going to come back to you. All right, they just give me the 26 seconds and counting. So I want to say thank you so much to everybody that took some time to spend some time tonight. I appreciate it. I hope whatever advice that was given here is something that you can use to get yourself to the next level. We'll be back next Thursday with Tammy Luttrell, CEO of the Mezzo Agency, and we're going to talk publishing and licensing, and I'm going to post this to my YouTube. So thank you so much. Peace and blessings.